All right, hello everybody. Today we're going to be doing a lesson about gravity and learning about Isaac Newton. And understanding this and being able to access this lesson, we have it on Nearpod. And in order to access the lesson, you need to download the Nearpod app, which is available at Google Play or at the App Store on Android. Or you can scan this QR code, and then you'll be able to access and go inside to download the lesson after you have the Nearpod app.
好，那如果呢，你手机或平板上呢还没有 Nearpod 这一个应用程式的话呢，你可以直接扫描这个 QR code 来做下载，因为等一下我们的课程呢会用到里面的内容。
Yes, and Nearpod. This is the Nearpod. The address for the Nearpod website where you can go and log in. You can log in the student portion here, or you can go to the Nearpod app and log in after you download the Nearpod app and enter the code that I will be giving you to download and access the lesson on the app on your device.
好，那如果你下载完毕之后呢，请你点开这一个网站，或者是点开这个应用程式，那你就会看到有这个画面出现。那等一下 Teacher Greg 呢会给各位一组密码来做登入。
And this over here also to remind you is the QR code if you need it for the Nearpod app. But this QR code here is different. This QR code is for the lesson, and once you scan this, it will take you into the lesson. And this is the code here for the lesson that you can use on the website to access the student side, or at the Nearpod app, you can put the code in here and it'll take you in to access the lesson via Nearpod.
好，那现在呢，就请各位输入这一组密码，然后我们一起跟着 Teacher Greg 来上课吧。
Yes, and remember, there's a limit of 75 logins total. So if you can't log in, it's probably already maxed out. And hopefully that doesn't happen. So try to log in as soon as you can.
好，那如果呢你登入之后发现呢，可能没办法成功登入的话呢，可能是因为有人数限制的关系，那就请你等一下再做登入。
All right, so now taking a look at Isaac Newton and gravity and understanding the basic concepts of what gravity is. It's something we all know and see and deal with every day, but it's something that we kind of need to understand a little bit more in detail here. So this here is Isaac Newton. And Isaac Newton is sitting here under a tree. And what kind of tree is it, Teacher Sunny?
An apple tree.
It's an apple tree. And as anybody might know the story of what happened to Isaac Newton. One day, Isaac Newton sitting here back in 1666 this is when he actually finally published his papers, but it happened a little bit earlier than this. He was sitting under the tree and he noticed the apples were falling from the tree, and an apple fell, bonk, and hit him on the head. And he started to wonder, why? Why does this happen? Teacher Sunny, why do you think this happened? Why?
Maybe weight.
Maybe because of weight. Yes, weight. How heavy something is.
Yes.
How heavy something is. Something can be very light. Or something can be very heavy. When you have weight, you have something called mass. And we'll get to that in just a second here. And what Isaac Newton started to think about, there must be something pulling things down to the earth. He's like, why? Why don't things just fly away? Why don't things just fall to the ground? And he started to come up with this concept and idea of something called gravity.
好，然后呢，牛顿呢想了想之后，为什么呢东西都会是往下掉呢？他后来呢想出了一个概念呢，叫做 gravity， 重力。
Yes, gravity. Yes, and gravity is something that has mass. For example, we all have mass, a certain amount of weight that we have that pulls us down, and mass is how much our bodies contain and hold. And gravity is the attractive force where these things are pulled together towards another object. And these objects have greater gravity or lesser gravity to their size and their mass. Every object pulls on another object with an invisible force called gravity. There is gravity between you and your toy car here, for example, with this boy in the picture. But you won't notice it because it is weak. It is very weak, and you don't feel that pull. But you can feel that pull between you and the earth. That's because the force of the gravity depends on the object's mass, how much it weighs, and how much you can feel the force against another object that has a greater mass. And the Earth has a lot of mass. It's very, very large, very large.
好，那每样东西呢都有它的重量，那像地球呢也是。
And then gravity pulls everything downwards and towards it because the Earth is so large and is so big and so big. Yes, and this is the effect of mass. Yes, mass is equal to this idea of weight. And weight, for example, is like how many kilograms you might be. You might be, yes, for example, for your weight of your body. Or in the United States, we use something called pounds or LBS as another example of kind of weight.
好，然后这些呢都是代表呢重量的意思。
And if we didn't have gravity, though, everything like on the Earth would float away, which is something we don't want to see here. Like our houses and our buildings would all be floating off into space. Or trains would float away, and they're very big. Or cargo ships, very large objects. If we didn't have gravity, and you might float off into space if we didn't have something called gravity to pull us down, to keep us connected to the Earth. Yeah.
好，那如果呢没有了重力的话呢，那可能呢所有的东西呢都会是漂浮的状态。
Yes, and also there's other objects in space as well. The Earth has great gravity, but also the moon has gravity. And because these things have gravity and pull on one another, they keep things in balance and harmony in space between the Earth and the moon and the Earth and the sun as well. Gravity connects all of these things together.
好，正是因为有重力的关系啊，所以呢，月亮呢才可以绕着地球转，然后地球呢也才可以绕着太阳转。
Now, there's a slight difference, though, between the gravity of different places and planets. The Earth has a greater mass and has greater weight to it than does the moon. Because of this, the weight that we have here is higher. We have a greater weight here that we weigh more on the Earth because gravity is stronger because of these factors. But on the moon, it is a smaller mass and has less gravity and is less dense. So the weight, if you go to the moon, is actually lighter.
好，那在地球上呢，如果你是30公斤的话呢，因为有重力的关系，就是30公斤。但如果到了月球上呢，重力呢会比较小一点，那你可能呢只会有5公斤而已。
Yes. And now we have a little question here, a few questions here about gravity. To find out, is gravity working? The teacher, Sonny, I have a little quiz for you.
Okay.
And you can answer either, is gravity working? Either yes, over here, ding dong, yes, or no, it's not working, not working. All right, so now, is gravity working? If you're on the slide, teacher Sonny, is gravity working? What do you think?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Gravity is working, yes. And looking here, is gravity working? When you're trying to go and you're playing basketball and you shoot the basketball, is gravity working?
The basketball will fall down, so it works.
It works, yes, it does. Yes, ding dong. Yes, it is working, good. And whenever it's raining, and the rain is falling from the sky, is gravity working?
Yes.
Yes, gravity is working. Gravity is pulling the rain out of the clouds as it falls down to the earth. And if you're sitting in class on a chair, is gravity working?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Even if you're not doing anything, you're just sitting or you're standing here, gravity is still working and holding you in place. And in order to overcome gravity, there's things we have to do. Our bodies have muscles, and we be very, very strong so we can overcome gravity to make our bodies move. Whenever we do this, we have something called force. And when you lift up your leg, for example, or you move your arm, your body is using a kind of force to give yourself some motion, and it helps you fight against gravity so you can do things.
好，那因为呢，重力的关系啊，所以呢，我们这样站着的话，那如果你想要呢，能够对抗重力的话呢，你可能就把手举起来，这样子呢，也是一个尝试。
All right. So now we have a little experiment here just to demonstrate. Teacher Sunny is going to do here with a small ball. For this experiment, it's a very easy, simple experiment to get to know and understand gravity. So we're going to take a ping pong ball, and you're going to hold the ping pong ball and just give it a little toss up in the air and see what happens to the ping pong ball. You'll see what happens. When we drop the ping pong ball, what happened?
It fell down.
It fell down. Yes, it fell down. Yes, and then it hit the floor, and then it bounced back. It bounced back up. It bounced back up. Yes. So whenever gravity pulls anything down to the earth, it pulls everything down to the earth. And we have to use a little bit of force to try to go against it. Now we have a second experiment that we're going to do for this. Now we have a man here named Galileo. Galilei. Galileo from Italy. And Galileo had an experiment to also test gravity. He was a little bit before in time, before Newton, but his ideas and what he tested got people like Newton thinking about new things, thinking about new ideas. And what he did, he climbed to a very tall, famous tower in a place called Pisa, Italy. And he took two balls and he dropped them to see what would happen when he dropped these two balls at the same time. Yes, Galileo. And the old idea was that if you have one ball that is heavier, for example, like I have this very heavy ball right here. This is a very, very heavy medicine ball you might use for exercise. And then I have this old basketball here that kind of has little air in it. It's very light compared to the medicine ball. This medicine ball is very heavy. Teacher Sunny, do you feel this is very, very heavy? You feel heavy?
Yes.
Yes, it's very heavy. It's a very heavy ball. And how about this ball? Is it very light?
Yes, it's light.
It's very light. All right, so now the idea was that Galileo had that you could drop the two balls and the one that's lighter should go slower, while the one that's heavier, that has greater mass, should fall faster. But what he found was when he dropped the two balls, they both fell and hit the earth at the exact same time, which was rather curious and something that we had to come to understand, to see more about. And we're going to do an experiment today to see and test Galileo's experiment here. Yes. And we're going to find out which ball falls faster, a heavy ball or a light ball. So I have my two balls here, and I have these two trays. And you can do this at home if you can find something that's rather heavy like my medicine ball, or a basketball like this. You're going to drop them at the same time. So, Teacher Sunny, if you can do a countdown, and then I can drop them at the same time. 3, 2, 1. All right, good. And when they fell, the trays moved a little bit. The desk moved more, but you see, if they fell at the exact same time, you can see the reaction if you go back and watch the video to see how they hit at the exact same time. For example, you can see here, when you drop the two balls at the same time, they fall and they hit at the exact same rate of speed,
好，然后呢，你回家呢可以自己再做一次这个实验，拿一个比较轻的球跟一个比较重的球，然后两个同时呢丢下去，你可以发现呢，其实两个球呢是会同时落在地上，不管它的重量是轻还是重的。
All right, and now I'll take a look at the Nearpod portion of the lesson here. So I'm going to switch over here because it's going rather quickly. Yes, take a look here. Okay, let's switch over here. Okay, maybe we can just edit out that part. And on Nearpod here, when we go to the Nearpod portion here, okay, all right, so now once we go to Nearpod here, and we go to the Nearpod website here, you can go to the Nearpod student login, and you can put the code in here on your app or your tablet, and once you log in, we'll be able to go into the lesson here. Click the join button, and it'll go inside to the lesson, waiting for it to log in here as it logs in. And then you have to put your name inside. I put my name in here. My name is Greg here. So you put your name in and click join lesson so I know who you are. Yes. And you have the Isaac Newton and gravity and invisible force. And we can go through and take a look at the lesson here. We have an activity here that it's supposed to come up, but it's not coming up with word wall. But word wall is very slow. So we can bye-bye this for now. Yes, bye-bye this for now. And you can go to click on here if it's working. Today, right now, Wordwall is being a little bit difficult, so I can't log in to play the game right now. I would like to. It's a true and false game that we can answer some questions to get to know what you understand from what we heard about today. Yes, and the next part here, yes, we have this as well, is a memory test here. So Teacher Sunny, maybe we can do this little memory test together here.
Okay.
So take a look here. What do we have here? What do we have?
An apple.
An apple. Yes, we have an apple. So now we have to find another apple here. Oh, we have the moon here. Okay, so Teacher Sunny, your turn to try here. We have the earth. Or the earth. Yes, the earth. And we have, the sun and the moon. Yes, yes, yes. And we have the earth and
Yes.
the earth. Yes, good. We found the earth. Good. All right, now Teacher Sunny, your turn. The sun and the moon, yes, and the sun and the earth, yes, sun and the earth, the sun and the earth, yes, yes, in the gravitational fields, yes. And another one we have here, the apple. And, okay, I got that one. That's Isaac Newton, the apple falling. Yes, good. Yeah, someone falling, yes, falling and falling. Oh, good. Yes, yes, okay, good. Someone falling. And we have apple and the apple. Good, yes, the apple. And we have Newton and Newton, yes, Newton, yes. Newton. And we have gravity.
And gravity.
And gravity, good. And you can go there to try to match the pictures there as well as one of the smaller activities we have there as well. And then after we've done those activities, you can go and try these experiments for yourself at home. Yes. Got here, you can clear the audio in the slide. So what happened to the audio? What did it do? You can type in your answer or record your answer here. So you can go and take something heavy. I'd like you to take something heavy. And you can test it at home and something light and try to drop it. But don't damage anything at your home. Be very careful with what you drop and light. And ask your parents first before you do any of these experiments so nothing bad happens. And be careful doing any experiments that you do in any way, shape, or form. Yes, yes. And then you can record the information here. And you click the record button to say what happened, or you can type it in here as well.
好，那你可以呢试试看呢拿一个比较轻跟一个比较重的球呢来做实验，然后可以把你的实验呢记录在上面，或者是说你用录音的方式也可以，然后这样子呢 Teacher Grade 就可以看得到你的实验记录了。
Or the next one here, I do believe. Then we have a little video here you can also watch as well, defining gravity. I forgot to put in the one thing here. Okay, all right, so that's already 15 minutes. All right, so thank you very much, and I will see you next time. I will try to edit something in. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, bye-bye, bye-bye.